I will start in just a couple minutes. Waiting for a few more viewers to hop on. I will start in just a couple. All right, let's get it going. I appreciate everybody that can make it today. It looks like we have about 7 people watching right now. I've got a lot of computers set up here, so I'll be looking all over the place, watching the chat. So we're gonna start through with the rookie team, and then we'll move on to the defense team, All NBA team, and then we will go through the individual awards, and we'll get this night going. All right, so let's get it started. We'll jump right into it, starting with the first team, All Rookie team. And there was no position restriction for this award, so we just went straight in for who got the most votes. They get to be at the top. So your top vote getter for the rookie first team is, no surprise, Kyle Kuzma of the Brooklyn Nets. He actually missed a unanimous first team selection by 1 vote. Everyone will be able to see who that 1 vote is a little later on when I release the vote tally. But he did receive 29 first place votes out of 30 possible first place votes. Next, Ben Simmons, no surprise. Star for the Sixers. They had a very tight race for Rookie of the Year as well. Be excited to show you the results of that. Moving on, Markelle Fultz. We had some trepidation in Toronto early on with multiple owner changes, but Fultz proved throughout the year to be, one of the best rookies in the league. He averaged 16 points and 4.5 dimes. He's definitely got a bright future there in Toronto. I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. Next is, one of my favorites, Luke Kennard. I think not a lot of people saw this coming. He carried the load a lot for for Dallas, this year. He was the second highest scoring rookie in the league behind Kuzma at 17 points a game. He shot pretty well from 3. Not really, actually, 36%. Disregard that. He shot 92% on free throws, so that's good. So we'll just keep rolling with that. And the last member of our first team, all rookie team, is De'Aaron Fox of the Denver Nuggets. So this is our first team as voted on by our league. I think it's a little different than what 2K voted on, so that's always fun. All right, let's move on to the second team. Starting off with Donovan Mitchell of the Pistons. Then we got Laurie. I know Kyle's excited. I'm not sure if he's watching, but he made it on there. That goofy-ass smile. Lonzo made it. Jason Tatum, even though he played 20 games. No, I'm just kidding. He wound up playing 69 games. Hey, nice. Good job, Kiefer. You did that on purpose. And lastly, Tyler Lydon. So the Magic actually had 2 all-rookie second team players. So that is good. So moving on to the all-defense team. I believe we were also one away from a unanimous selection here. Let me see. 2 away. 28 out of 30 possible first place votes for your man John Wall. No Musical likes to talk about his defensive abilities all season long and help them win one game in the playoffs. The second guard, CP3, you know, he didn't even make the playoffs, but he was very defensive all year. Going to be a big free agent target this offseason, I'm sure, for lots of teams. So this will be exciting to see where he goes. Hope everybody notices the badass jersey swaps that took so long to do. Your starting forward for all defense is Anthony Davis. One thing that kind of happened with Davis in a lot of the voting was he got split between forward and center, but he did get enough votes here to get the first team all defense. Then you got Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors. He's been kind of quiet this season there. And you got Steph, Clay, Kevin, Rudy Gay. Draymond's just kind of floating back there, but still carried enough weight to get to the first team all defense. And then as your center is Rudy Gobert. I think Killer will be happy about that. Gobert just edged out the next guy on second team for his first team nomination. We actually had a tie for second team. I'll talk about that in just a second. So moving on to second team, all defense, guard Jimmy Butler for the Phoenix Suns also helped get his team to 5 games in the playoffs. I think there's a trend for that first guard on all defense teams. Russell Westbrook, there's a very strong trend happening right now. And it also is very surprising that Westbrook made an all-defense team, but you guys voted on this. He actually got in by 1 vote over Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn received no first-place votes, but 11 second-team votes, while Russell got 1 first-team vote. That put him over the edge. Your second-team forward is Giannis. C4, even though I left him off of everything, he still got votes for stuff. He is joined on the other wing by Kawhi, which I thought was kind of interesting considering that Kawhi only played 56 games, but I put him on the ballots. People vote for him. He had a considerable margin over Paul George, who was the next closest, so although he played 2/3 of the season, Kawhi is, in second team all defense. And then center Drummond. So this is what I was actually just talking about. Drummond and Hassan Whiteside tied for 19 points apiece for the second team all defense center, but Drummond had 1 more first place vote than Whiteside did, which gives him the nod here. All right, so now let's get to the big dogs, all NBN first team. Now, I don't really think this differs too much from what 2K put, but once again, James Harden was 1 first place vote away from a unanimous decision. Again, you'll see who that one person was that didn't vote for them later on. But James Harden is your starting guard, receiving 29 out of 30 possible first place votes. Joining him in the other guard will be Russell Westbrook, OKC Thunder. Didn't quite average a triple-double in our league, but he did put up a healthy 23.5, 7.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists. Shot 34% from 3, so good looking out. Starting forward, none other than LeBronto James. Killer's got some stout representation here tonight, as you'll see. LeBron didn't average what we would normally see from him points-wise in our league. He had 20.7 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and 1.5 steal, shooting 51, 39, 76. Splits. At the other forward, you got Kevin Durant, Golden State Warriors. You'll notice a trend here that everybody who is on NBN first team is on the same team in real life. If we ever do a restart league, maybe just don't trade anybody. Seems to work out pretty well. And your starting center on your all NBN team, Mr. Phoenix himself, Karl Anthony Towns. Just got ousted from the playoffs, but he impressed in the first round. I think it's good to see him getting that first team NBN nod early on. So we'll move into the second team now. Second team, you got your starting guards, Mr. Steph Curry, Mr. Kyrie. So Kyrie's our first player that has been on a different team than he is in real life to be nominated to All-NBA. Blake Griffin, my boy, Mr. Memphis himself, already gave him the key to the city. Gonna lead us to a championship in sometime soon. I was actually surprised that he got as many votes as he did. I thought I'd be the only person voting for him. But he had a pretty good lead over the third team guys. So that's good. Proud of him, you know. Memphis legend already. Retire his jersey when he's done with it. Giannis joins him at the other forward position. Giannis actually beat out the next forward by 1 point for his second team spot, and we'll get into that because this is one thing I've already talked about, but we'll get to that in a second. And your second team center is DeMarcus Cousins. Got hurt, you know, another oust to the playoffs. You know, apologize. You guys get these awards though, so it's good. Third team, that went fast. DeMar DeRozan is our first guard on our third team. We actually was a really close bunch right here, but the two guys that won it were only separated by 1 point. So DeMar is our first guard, and then Lillard is our second guard. Dalla Dame showed off in the playoffs with the highest first-round points per game. I think he hit like 38 points a game in the first round. They put up a good fight against Golden State, but ultimately fell short. Celtics and Cavs are playing right now. To be honest, I've been a stay-at-home dad for this whole week. I haven't paid attention to what's going on too much. Your forwards on your third team, Anthony Davis. So this is what I was talking about. You know, you'd expect him to be higher, but Davis got 32 points at forward and then got 20 points at center. So people split their votes on forward and center. Probably had a case for first or second team forward, but because people split their votes, he settles in at third team. He's joined by Paul George on the wing, and it's rounded out by Drummond at the center position. Drummond only beat Davis by 1 point for the third team all NBN. So I guess Davis could have just owned 2 spots for all NBN. So all right. So I believe now we are through our teams, and we're on to the individual awards. I see Avatar right now in the Slack is complaining, presumably, about Anthony Davis. Yeah. AD, look, it's because people voted for him for center, and that's what happens. So, whatever. He made a team. Get over it. Except he's not as good as Blake Griffin, so get over that too. All right. So, we're moving on to the individual awards. I believe our first up is Most Improved Player. We had some really good candidates for it, and it was actually a pretty close vote. Sorry if you guys see me. I'm looking over at my voting screen. We had 19 different players get votes for this. So it was a really close award. You know, it was lots of spread out voting. So without further ado, the Most Improved Player of the 2017-2018 NBN regular season is none other than Boban, baby! Look at those numbers. 7 points more a game, 6 more rebounds, 1 more block. Whoever got second place didn't deserve it. Boban deserved it all day long. But for real, Buddy Hield got second place. He was pretty close in points. He only had 2 less first place votes, but had quite a few less second and third place votes. So tight race, really just between Boban and Buddy. Hernan Gomez was in third, Bembry in fourth, and Carlo Quinn in fifth. You'll see all of these standings here at the end. I'll just, y'all are talking in Twitch chat. I just saw that. I have it pulled up on my phone, so I can't see anything. Oh, I see it now. Whatever. I'll read it later. So Boban gets first place. Killer, you need to shut the fuck up and worry about yourself. All right, you can just calm down. And he doesn't play 40 minutes a game, you idiot. I'll tell you how many minutes a game he plays. I don't know why I'm spending my time proving you wrong, but I'm going to. He plays 27 minutes a game. Suck my dick. Most improved player. All right. So we got MIP out of the way. Moving on to a pretty good award here, Defensive Player of the Year. So we actually had a tie in terms of just pure point voting or point tally. The two guys that tied both had 32 points, and there were actually two guys behind them that had 30 points apiece. So the race for this one was very tight, and the way that the ties are broken here is by number of first place votes. So this person got one more first place vote than who actually got second place. And this one was actually probably the biggest surprise out of all of them. I don't think he's probably watching, but Musical will be happy about this. John Wall was voted as our Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 2.5 steals per game and 1 block per game. Whiteside was the person he tied with, and Whiteside just got one less first place votes than John Wall did, which is why they got second. Gobert got third place with 30 votes or 30 points, so he was 2 behind Wall, and then Drummond got tied for third, I guess, with also 30 points. So it looks like Killer is just mad that Cleveland is not winning all of these awards. I agree with Cheppy that Drummond should have won. That was who I voted for. But Wall got 7 first place votes, 2 second place, and 7 third place. So it's the way the cookie crumbles. It is what it is. So this is your Defensive Player of the Year. Moving on to Sixth Man of the Year. And actually, I need to switch my face cam just because of the way the graphics are for this. So your 2017-2018 Sixth Man of the Year is Rudy Gay of the Golden State Warriors, averaging 15 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2 assists off the bench. This one wasn't really close in terms of points. He was up by 20 points on second place Lou Williams. Derrick Rose got third place, Tyreek Evans fourth, and Brook Lopez fifth. I think this one was pretty straightforward. I think most people voted or would have voted, for Rudy Gay. He got 22 out of 30 teams voted for him, so it's a pretty overwhelming majority here for Sixth Man of the Year. So congratulations to Parim for actually winning something. I know he's really struggling in that department. Killer, did you even vote? I'm pretty sure Roast voted, so I don't know why you're in here talking shit about who voted. Just leave everybody alone. Close Slack, close Twitch, go outside, go to bed. I don't know. Is it bedtime yet? Just quit complaining. Rose didn't even play. I just can't even sit here and read your comments. All right. Moving on to Rookie of the Year. This one was fun. This one was also very close. Only 8 points different between the two. Make sure my camera's in the right place. Yep. So your 2017-2018 Rookie of the Year goes to none other than the Kuz himself. Kyle Kuzma takes home this award. I was a little surprised. I personally voted for Ben Simmons first and then Kuzma second, I think. But Kuzma took it 62 points to 54 over Simmons. He impressed. There was a hype train. He rode it all season, averaging almost 20 points as a rookie. I think, that's incredible. 7 rebounds a game. And I think he's got a good future in Brooklyn. Lucci and all of his clones and towel boys and assistant water trainers and aromatherapy specialists have a lot to look forward to there. I will take a minute because I actually already forgot this, and I already forgot it once, so now I forgot it a second time. The Front Office of the Year and Coach of the Year awards. Like I said, forgot to make screens for those, so I'm just going to tell you who won those. Front Office, and actually both of these were pretty much runaways. Front Office of the Year goes to the Phoenix Suns. Congratulations, Chuck, Mitch, and David. You guys did a great job out there. You got 16 out of 30 first place votes. They had almost double the points of second place. Second was Milwaukee. Third, New Orleans. Fourth, Los Angeles. And fifth, Oklahoma City. Good job, Chuck, and all you guys in Phoenix. You know, not the best way to end the season, but I think you guys got it going forward. And then Coach of the Year, again, was pretty much a runaway. They doubled up second place, and that goes to the Milwaukee Bucks. So that is just like NBN or the 2K version. So C4 and Nell had good, congratulations. You guys got 10 first place votes out of 30. Second place was Charlotte, so shout out to my boy Charles / Schwarmageddon / whatever he wants to be. Third place was Phoenix, fourth Houston, and fifth New Orleans Pelicans. All right, so again, I apologize for not making screens for those. I just kind of forgot until like 5 minutes before the thing started. So now let's get to the big one, MVP. And to be honest, it was really not that close. 25 out of 30 first place votes all went one way. And they almost quadrupled the next closest points. And your 2017-2018 NBN MVP is Mr. James Harden. 26 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.5 steals, second best record in the West, sweeping through the playoffs right now. It's hard to kind of ignore this, and I know a lot of people may say there's a case for some other names. Westbrook was second, LeBron was third, Durant was fourth, and Curry was fifth. Or Curry was tied for fifth with Anthony Davis. So that's your MVP. The 2017-2018 NBN season. I'm sure Killer's going to be pissed about that. I'm sure he thinks LeBron should have won it, no doubt. Or probably Gobert or something stupid. I don't know. But anyways, that concludes our awards show. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's not the most exciting thing. It's just kind of a slideshow, but I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Be sure to check it out tomorrow about the same time. We're going to be doing the Lotto show. That one's always fun. And I'll be a little more salty on that one. I'll be talking shit. This one I was trying to, this is the awards show. Everybody gets to be honored and recognized. Except Killer, honestly, fuck you. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll do the same thing tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys. See y'all later.